Ali, compare by less, more, or equal. 1/8 or 3/8, the bigger. Which fraction is the bigger here? 1/8 or 3/8? 3/8, excellent. Because we have same denominator, so we go to compare the numerators. 3 bigger than 1, so 3/8 it's bigger. True? Yasmin Shahbour. Yasmin,
Yes, teacher.
which fraction the bigger, 5/6 or 3/6?
5/6.
5/6. Do you know why?
The denominators are the same, but the numerators are not the same. The 5 is
Excellent.
bigger than 3.
Excellent, excellent. So here the denominators are the same. So when the denominators are the same, we go to compare the numerators. So 5, it's bigger than 3. True? Adnan? Adnan?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
Adnan. Adnan, 3/11 or 5/11, the bigger?
5/11.
Excellent. So we have same denominators and 3 less than 5 in the numerator. So 5, it's the bigger. 5/11, it will be the bigger. True? Zahra Khalaf. Zahra Khalaf. Zahra, 13/4 or 15/4?
15/4 because
15
the
over
4 is the denominator.
Yes, for the same denominator in the denominator for the same. So 15 it's bigger than 13 in the numerators. True? The fraction it will be the bigger. Please put mute ya Hassan. So here 4 in the denominators the same. So the same denominators. Okay. So when the denominators are the same, we go to compare the numerators. 15, it's bigger than 13. So the fraction 15/4, it's bigger than 13/4. Do you understand? Check your answers fast. Check your answers. Then I want to erase fast. So true?
True.
Can I erase? Can I erase? Can I erase? Yeah. So now open at the first paper in the revision sheet 3, sorry. In the revision sheet 3, number 7. The homework, okay?
Which page,
In the
teacher?
book,
In the booklet, the homework, exercise number 7. Write in digits 3/4. What is the 3/4? 3 over what? 3/4.
Over 4.
Excellent. 2/19. It's a what? Fast.
2/19.
Excellent. 2/19. 10/80. Look here. 80.
10/8.
Sorry. Yes.
10/8.
8/80.
10/18 or 80?
80.
Excellent. 80. Because here we
Which
have
page, teacher?
revision sheet 3. Revision sheet 3. Homework. This is a homework. 10/80ths. So here the IY 80ths. Okay, so represent 80. It's a 80. If we have 18ths like this, 18ths. So this is a what? This is a 18/18 because we have T, E, E, and THS, okay? But here in this example, we have I, E, okay? So the 80, it's a Y. The 80, it's a Y. Here we have IY, then THS, okay? So meaning 80, 80. But if you have 18ths, we put 18, okay? 6/3, it's a 6 over what? Do you know? 6 over what? 6/3. Excellent, very nice. So 6/3. Check your answers fast. Then I want to erase, and I will start by a new lesson today, the comparing fractions 2. The fractions having same numerator today, same numerators. Can I erase?
teacher أي صفحة ما عاملة الصفحة.
This is revision sheet 3. I don't know which paper on your booklet. Any students say which page?
45.
Page 35.
45.
45. Okay, page 45. Page 45. Can I erase?
Yes, teacher.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
So now I will start by a new lesson. The comparing fractions 2. Small revision. So how to compare two fractions having same denominators? So when we have the same the denominators, we go to compare the numerators. The fraction with the greater numerator is bigger. Do you understand? Okay. So for example, here we have two examples. In the first example, we divide the whole part at 5 equal parts, and in the second example, I divide also the whole part at 5 equal parts. So in the first example, we have 3 colored parts, so represent 3/5, and in the second example, 2/5. Okay, because we have 2 colored parts from 5 equal parts. Okay, so now we have same denominators, so we go to compare the numerators. 3 bigger than 2, so the fractions, the fraction 3/5, it will be bigger than 2/5. Look here at the colored parts. The 3 colored parts, it's bigger than the 2 colored parts. Do you understand? So this is a revision. Do you understand? Do you have any question before starting by the second lesson today? The same
No.
numerator today. So
No,
here,
teacher.
do you understand the same denominator? All true?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now I will start by the second lesson, the comparing fractions 2. Okay? What if the numerators of two fractions are the same? How can we compare these two fractions? So in this lesson, we don't have same denominators. In this lesson, we have same numerators. So how to compare two fractions having same numerators? Okay, so how to compare? Here we have two pizzas, true? And in the first, we should divide the pizza at 4 equal parts. And in the second pizza, I want to divide at 8 equal parts, okay? So look at the parts in the first example and look at the parts in the second example. In the first example, if we divide the pizza at 4 equal parts, each one piece represent 1/4. Look at the piece here. Look at the piece. This is the 1/4, okay? This is the 1/4, true? And look at the second example, at the one piece, it's 1/8 because 1 from 8. So look at the piece here. This, true? What do you conclude here? Which piece is the bigger? In the first example or in the second example? Which piece is the bigger? Which piece have the bigger size?
The first.
In the first, excellent, very nice, ya Alia, very nice. So in the first example, the size of the piece, it's bigger than the size of the piece in the second example. True? But here, in the first example, 1/4, the 4, it's less than 8.
Hello,
Why
teacher.
it will be bigger? Why? Why it will be bigger here? Look, in the first example, if we divide the pizza, good morning. In the first example, if we divide the pizza at a small number of parts, the size of the piece, it will be bigger. True? In the second example, we divide at 8 equal parts, the size, it will be smaller. True? So this is my lesson today. If we divide at a small number, the size of the piece, it will be bigger. What's the meaning of divide at a small number of parts? يعني the denominator, it's the smaller. True? So here we have 1/4 and 1/8. Same numerators. What's the meaning of same numerators? Same numerators, يعني here we take just one part. The numerator represents the parts, the selected parts, or the eating parts, true? Here we eat one part, and here also we must eat one part. But the size of the piece in the first example, it's bigger than the size in the second example because the denominator, it's smaller. Okay? So if we have same numerator, yani we take one part and one part, we go to compare the denominators, we should choose the fraction have the smaller denominator to will become the bigger. So here, for having smaller denominator, the fraction, it will be bigger. Yani the size of the piece, it will be bigger. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you understand? طيب, excellent.
Yes.
Now, when the numerators of the two, don't write on the screen, please. When the numerators of the two fractions are the same, the fractions with the smaller denominator is bigger. So we should choose the fraction having the smaller denominator, and it will be the bigger. Okay? Here we have two examples. In the first example, we divide the whole part at 4 equal parts. And in the second example, we divide the whole part at 8 equal parts. In the first example, I want to color 2 parts, and in the second example, 2 parts also, okay? In which example, in the first or in the second, the parts are bigger, the colored parts are bigger?
In the 4.
In the first example, in the 4 equal parts, excellent. In the first example, do you know why? In the first example, 2/4, in the second example, 2/8. Do you know why the 2/4, it's bigger than the 2/8? What can you say about the size of the piece? What can you say about the size? Please, don't write on the screen, please, 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 okay, please. So 2/4, it's bigger than 2/8. What can you say about the size of the piece here?
They are big.
They are big in the 2/4, true? Because we divide the whole at the smaller number, the size of the piece, it will be bigger. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Look here. Look at the size here.
Yes, teacher.
Look at this size. The size, if we divide at 4 equal parts, is bigger than if we divide at 8 equal parts. Okay? So look in the examples down. Here we have in the numerators 2. We have in the numerators 2 the same numerators. So in these two fractions, we have same numerators. So choose the fraction have the smaller denominator. It will become the fractions bigger. Do you understand?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Now here we have two examples. In the first example, we have 8 equal parts. And in the second example, we have 4 equal parts. In which example, the size of the piece, it's bigger?
The second
In the second, this, true? This is the bigger, true? Because in the second example, we divide at a small number of pieces. True? True? So it will become the size of the piece bigger. Type. What is represent the colored parts in the first example? 3 from 8. And in the second example, do you know what is represent the colored parts?
3/1.
3/4, not over 1. 3/4, because we have 4 parts in total. So 3/4. And in the first example, 3/8, because we color here we colored the 3 parts from 8. The 8, it's the total number of parts, and we write in the denominator. 3 in the numerator, it's the selected part, it's the colored parts, okay? Type. Here we have same numerator 3. we have same numerator 3. Which fraction is the bigger? Do you know?
3/4.
Excellent. 3/4 the bigger. Because why? Do you know why? Do you know why 3/4 the bigger?
Because the parts are big.
Denominator is small.
Excellent. The denominator is small, so the size of the pieces, it will be bigger. True? So how to compare if you have same numerators? You should choose the denominators small and the fraction, it will be bigger. The fraction having the smaller denominator, it will be the bigger. Do you understand?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Now another example also. Here in the first example, we have one colored part. Please don't write on the screen. So 1/2, one colored part from 2 parts as total, true? And here we have one colored part from 4 parts, so 1/4. 1/2, it's bigger because we have same numerators. So same numerators, the denominator smaller, give me the bigger fraction, true? So when we have the fraction bigger, it's the fraction having the smaller denominator. So choose the smaller denominator 2 and the fraction 1/2, it will be the bigger. Now in the second example, 6/14 and 6/18. Here we have 14 parts and here we have 18 parts. Which fraction is the bigger and why?
6/14.
Why? Do you know why? What can you say about the size of the piece?
Small.
I can't hear you.
14 is smaller of 18.
Excellent. So 6 same numerator. What do you have here? Same numerator. Same numerators. So we choose the fraction having the smaller denominator. So 14 smaller than 18. The fraction 6/14, it will be bigger because the size of the piece, if we divide at 14, it will be bigger than if we divide at 18 equal parts. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
now number 2. No, before number 2, sorry. Here, we have third example. In the first example, we have 5/7 because 5 colored parts from 7. And in the second example, 5/8 because we have 5 colored parts from 8. Which fraction is the bigger and why?
5/7.
5/7 bigger. Do you know why?
Yes, because 7 is less than 8.
Excellent. So here, Yamas, look. Here we have same numerators. So we take 5 parts in the first and in the second. In the first we take 5 parts and in the second we take also 5 parts. But the size of the pieces, if we divide at 7 equal parts, it's bigger than if we divide at 8 equal parts. Do you understand? So we must choose the fraction having the smaller denominators. Ali Munzir, don't write at the screen, please. Okay, please. So if we take 5 parts from the fraction 5/7, if we divide at 7 equal parts, the size of the piece, it will be bigger. Do you understand?
teacher أنا انقطع عندي الإنترنت
Okay, no problem, no problem. So now 5 and 5 same enumerators. I go to compare the denominators. 7 it's less, so the fraction 5/7 it will be bigger. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Now number 1, page 125. Please open page 125, and I will solve 2 examples in the number 1. Then
in the
you
book.
should solve alone. Yes, on the book you should solve alone these 4 parts. Okay. Aya, 3/7 or 3/11 the bigger?
3/7.
Excellent, excellent. Do you know why?
Yes, because 7
Excellent, ya Aya. Very nice, ya Aya. Very nice. So 3 and 3 in the numerators. So we have same numerators. So we go to compare the denominators. Choose the smaller denominator, the 7. So the fraction, it will be bigger. Do you understand?
Miss, it's not 125, it's 126.
Okay, 126, no problem. 126. Yasmin Shahbouri, please. Yasmin, what is the bigger fraction, 5/9 or 5/8?
5/8.
Why? Do you know why?
The numerators are the same.
Excellent.
We compare the
Denominators.
We choose the smaller.
We choose the smaller. It will become the bigger fraction, 5/8. Excellent. Yalla, I will give for you 1 minute to solve alone these 4 parts. Fast. 1 minute.
Teacher finished.
Fast.
Teacher finished.
Fast. Less than 1 minute, then I will start. Fast.
I have finished.
Okay. If have you finished, raise hand on the Zoom.
Miss, what's number 1?
Number 1, miss. Number 1. يلا عدنان. عدنان.
Yes.
4/11 or 4/17 the bigger?
4/11.
Why? Do you know why?
Yes.
Why?
Because the 17 is smallest than
11 smaller than 17. Excellent. So we have same numerator. You should say we have same numerators. So go to compare the denominators. We should choose the smaller denominator, 11. The fraction 4/11, it will be bigger. Do you understand, Hala?
yes.
Hala. 13/29 or 13/31?
The numerator is the same, so and the denominator is
Excellent. Same numerators. What can you say about the denominators?
different.
Different. Which the smaller?
13 over 29.
Excellent. No, pay attention. 29, the smaller. The fraction 13 over 29, it will be bigger. Okay, so to find the bigger fraction, we should choose the smaller denominator. Do you understand? To
Yes.
find the bigger fraction, 13 over 29, we should choose the smaller denominators. Okay, the 29. Ali Tabaja. 6 over 13 or 6 over 17? Yes, ya Ali.
6 over 3.
13, excellent. 6 over 13.
13.
Why? Do you know why?
Same denominator.
Because we have same numerators, excellent. So we have same numerators, 6.
13 bigger.
So to find the bigger fraction, we should choose the smaller denominator. 13 less
Teacher,
than
can I?
17. So 6 over 13, it will be bigger. Yes, you can. 10 over 100 or 10 over 1000?
10 over 100.
Explain why, please. Explain why.
Because it's bigger.
Why
Teacher,
bigger?
10 over 100.
Why? Explain why.
Because it is smaller.
Excellent. The denominator is smaller. So here we have same numerators. So we go to compare the denominators. The bigger fraction having the smaller denominator. Because the piece, it will be what? Bigger. Okay, the piece, it will be bigger. If we divide at a small number, the piece, it will be bigger. Do you understand? 100
Yes.
less than 1000, so it will becomes 10 over 100 bigger. Now number 2, arrange the following fractions in ascending order. Ascending order means from less to bigger. In this lesson, you should pay attention. From these fractions, which is the smaller fraction? Yani the smaller size, having smaller size of the piece. Okay?
8.
The one
Is 8.
Pay attention.
It's
Pay
8.
attention. Pay attention.
7 over 100.
Excellent. Why? Do you know why? 7 over 100, the smaller size of piece, the smaller fraction. Why?
Because there is a bigger number.
Excellent, because we have in the denominator down a bigger number. Yani we must divide at a bigger number of pieces. The size of the piece, it will be smaller. Okay, because I divide at a bigger number. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we choose 7 over 100, the smaller fraction. Then 7 over 25, 7 over 20. Complete ya Fatima Mohsen. After that, so 7 over 100, 7 over 25, 7 over 20. Then
7 over 50.
excellent. Then
7 over 11. 7
Yeah.
over 10. 7 over 8.
excellent. Now please
Yes, teacher.
مس ما بنسمعك عشان مسوي ميوت.
Okay, sorry. Which fraction is the smaller? If you have same numerator.
Three.
Excellent يا حلا. Excellent for all. Excellent. 5 over 23 the smaller because having what? Having bigger denominator. So the size it will be what? Smaller. After that يا حلا what should we write? Fast.
5 over 21.
Excellent. Then
5 over 14.
excellent. Then
5 over 13.
excellent. 5 over 11. Then 5 over 7.
Over 7.
And in the last 5 over 6. Look at these two fractions, 5 over 23 and 5 over 6. 23 less than 6